Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 10th and Christmas episode of Cool Down Timer. I am one of your hosts, Singles Artman, or Zam. With me today, I have Nifu.
Oh, now I need to think of a catchphrase.
You can have the I'm not a vampire.
But I am a vampire.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Anyway, it's Christmas. Well, it will be Christmas when you're listening to this. It's not Christmas.
Or it will be almost Christmas.
It'll be close enough to Christmas for it to be Christmas. Do you have any really weird Christmas traditions?
No, but I have a weird New Year's tradition.
Let me guess. The playing of Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
No, I stopped doing that about 4 or 5 years ago.
All right, what's your New Year's?
Well, it's not a tradition that I have. It's a tradition that's in my family. Apparently, it's good luck on New Year's to wear yellow underwear because it represents wealth or something.
I thought purple represented wealth.
In a different culture, not the Panamanian culture that my family that my family hails from. So yeah, I refuse to partake in this tradition, but
you need to partake in this tradition. You need to get some yellow underwear.
No, you can't make me. But that's for next week's episode. So Christmas traditions. Do I have any weird Christmas?
We had one. I think my great-grandparents started it. We used to eat cheese soup on Christmas.
Cheese soup.
It is disgusting. We don't eat it anymore. We stopped that tradition because there was a revolt.
By who?
All the kids.
Oh gosh, really?
Yeah, it's nasty. I don't really remember what it tastes like. I just remember it was disgusting.
Well, have you ever had broccoli and cheddar soup?
I like that.
Oh, that stuff's good.
Yeah, and this one has cooking wine and stuff in it, and it's really sour. It tastes rotten.
Ew.
And it has this weird film over the top of it.
Ew.
It's really nasty. Now we have a great tradition where we eat steaks on Christmas.
So you replace the cheese with steaks?
Yes, this cheese with one of the most lovely foods in the world. Gosh. I love steak.
Let's see. So the way that Christmas works for my family is on the 24th we tend to go to my grandmother's place, my dad's mother. And we do a little Christmas festivity there with my cousins and my grandma and my aunts and uncles. And then we do Christmas with my family at my other grandparents' house at my mom's parents' place on Christmas morning. And at this point, the family has sort of grown because my sister's boyfriend now lives nearby. He and his brother are from Pennsylvania, and the rest of their family is in Pennsylvania, so we are their family.
Oh, that's fun.
So, hey, there's a little, yay, Christmas, woo!
Yeah, my family's crazy.
Yeah, your family's crazy. Tell them about your family's crazy. Tell them about your favorite horrible Christmas memory with your family.
Having strep throat on Christmas was pretty bad. I was 6.
Oh, gosh.
And I couldn't talk on Christmas morning. Yeah, I don't know, there's not any funny good memories. They're all just bad.
Bad?
Yeah. I don't know if any specifically for Christmas, but just bad in general.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I mean, if we want to go that route.
Not really.
Horrible memories?
I don't want to be all depressing.
It's Christmas. It's a time to be depressed.
I used to hate Christmas, and now I love it.
I get depressed during Christmas because so much money has to get spent, it just makes me, really, really depressed.
But everything's so jolly.
It's a lie. Christmas is the jolliness, the love and goodwill and peace on earth and all that crap is a lie.
It doesn't matter.
Sold by the advertising companies to sell crap. It's all a lie. Nobody believes it. They only pretend that they do. And as we talked about last week on Black Friday, when they're getting the items in order to participate in this consumerism holiday, which, I'm not complaining about the fact that I get crap, but then they kill each other on Black Friday.
This isn't about Black Friday.
Sorry.
Black Friday is stupid.
On Black
and you know what? Christmas, the whole thing might be a lie, but so many people believe it that it becomes a reality.
No.
Yes, people are nicer around Christmas.
Yes, they are nicer, but
that's what matters.
I have trouble.
Bah humbug, blah, blah.
I hate the holidays. I hate them so much because it's just all it's depressing because you look at all this fake happiness and just it doesn't take all that much effort to do that. Too bad you're a jerk normally.
I don't know. I don't really like going out into like the mall and stuff, but I love going out around Christmas.
I will not disagree. Walking around shopping centers and big cities during the Christmas season is a rather nice thing to do. It is enjoyable. You got the little pretty lights. You get to walk around holding hands with your lady, and have gloves because it's so freaking cold.
Oh, you're just a wuss when it comes to the cold.
It's like been 8 degrees.
You had to wear a blanket downstairs.
There is no heat in this house. This is the only room in this house that has heat.
No, this house is warm.
No, it is not. This house is
just
cold.
Not hot. It's too warm up here. What did you do with like trees for Christmas?
Trees? Well, for a while we used to. There was the tree farm over by your place.
That's one where we get.
That's now a winery.
Oh.
The grape farm, like right before you turn on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We go down to Cox, which is like just down the street from there.
We always went to the one that was at the corner right there that now is a winery, and
much more better than a tree farm.
We would, get our trees there, go home and decorate them, and my mom would always have my sister and I buy an ornament for Christmas that had the year on it.
Wait,
somewhere.
She would have you guys buy them?
No, like she would buy them for us, but she would, it was like a big deal that we would have an ornament from each and every year.
See, what we did was our parents got us ornaments every year that had to do something with that year. And then we would open them up Christmas Eve, and that would be like our little until the morning present. I never loved my family more, though, than Christmas. Because they all try to get along, which is really rare for my family.
Gosh.
Well, and you know what's really cool, though, is that now I get to have Christmas with Ringo.
You get Ringo.
I get Ringo.
You get Ringo.
I get Ringo, and I get my fiance, and then I get my one of my sisters. Well, my sister that Melinda that married Ringo. She's pretty cool.
She did not like that false name for her. We told them. We don't necessarily have permission for all of our friends for these stories and whatnot, so we give them all pseudonames.
Yeah, but some of them are real, like Mr. H. That's his actual name. He had cool parents.
Yeah. I mean, yes! Mr. H is his name.
But yeah, so I've always gotten along with her better than my other siblings. And her and Ringo. It was really funny when they got married, because a lot of people were like... Because Ringo was one of my pretty good friends, and a lot of people were like, oh, aren't you like totally like upset about this? And I'm like, no.
He's a nice guy.
I would much rather her marry someone that I really like than someone that I hate.
Yeah, no, I get that. The thing with my sister and her significant other is he's a great guy, but he and I, when we relate to each other, there's just this like sense of awkwardness that's there.
Oh, really?
That he and I just don't necessarily socially see eye to eye. And that's okay. Because my sister and I don't see eye to eye in other things. And so, if someone's going to mesh with my sister, there's a really good chance that they're not going to mesh with me.
Anyway, backtracking a little bit. So you do like the live tree.
Wow, that's backtracking a ways. Okay, yes, we did a live tree, and then I think a year or two we did this white Christmas tree light tree.
Oh, those are gross.
It was made of Christmas tree lights.
Yeah.
But just due to the way that our house was organized at that point, we couldn't really do a bigger tree. But we have moved to a real tree now. I know my girlfriend and I we've got a fake tree that we've used because, she's been living in apartments. It's a lot easier in apartments. It's
and like cheaper.
A 4-foot tree, maybe 5 foot, 4 or 5 foot tree, which we decorated when I went and visited her a couple weeks back. It's all cute and pathetic looking.
I had this really fun tradition that I heard about where the first Christmas of your marriage, you take the bottom chunk of the tree that you're using, you cut it off, and you make it into an ornament. I'm going to do that next Christmas. But yeah, I've always liked the live trees. When we were really little, back before my life got crazy, my family got crazy, when there was only a couple of us. There's like 6 kids in my family now.
Technically 7.
Is there 7?
Ringo.
Well, he's not a kid though. But then
again, neither is Melinda.
Well,
I'm playing the technicality game.
I'm going to kill you.
Move on.
No, but anyway, when we were really little and there was only like me and my two sisters before all the other little kids came up, we used to go up to the mountain every year and get a tree. And, I guess that's expensive. I have no idea how you do that. But it was awesome. It was a whole day thing. You'd go up there. We'd go up there with like extended family, and we would sled, and we'd play in the snow, and then we'd go hiking up in the woods, and we'd find a Christmas tree. And I remember that the first couple of years I didn't get to go because I was too little, but this one year I went with my dad, and we were hiking up there, and I really remember this very, very vividly. And we were on this like kind of like cliff kind of face up in the mountain, and I found this pile of chicken bones.
Okay.
And thinking back on it, someone had some chicken up there.
Okay.
But in my very young mind, I was like, why are there bones here? And my dad told me it was because of Bigfoot. And I was like terrified and super excited at the same time.
Understandably, if I was told, what was a weird thing that my parents told me when I was younger? In an entirely unrelated train of thought, I heard this Christmas song when I was younger about giving Santa Claus beer and pickles. After I heard that song, I asked my dad. By that point, Santa's a. Santa's not true, but, as kind of a joke, I was like, hey, Dad, I want to leave beer and pickles for Santa. So he assisted me with the process, and later that night, my dad had a beer and some pickles.
Oh, man, I loved believing in Santa Claus when I was younger.
We actually didn't do Santa Claus.
Oh, really?
Other than at my grandmother's house, where they actually had some dude. I still have no idea who it is.
What?
You would, hear him coming up to the door with his bells.
What?
And they wouldn't allow you to go over to the other part of the room where you could look outside because they said the reindeer were out there and the reindeer didn't want to get spooked, or they didn't want you to spook the reindeer. And so this dude, dressed as Santa, would just come in and sit on one of the chairs and he's like, oh, ho, ho, what do you want for Christmas?
Wow, they went really theatrical with it.
They went all out on this.
Wow.
I have no idea who this dude is.
No, we used
Still to this day.
He was Santa.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, okay.
Oh, and then he would always have this bag, and he would always pass out these little $5 gifts to everybody just to propagate the lie.
Wow. To propagate the lie. That's such an overdramatic way of saying that. No, when I was little, I mean,
it was fun.
I was never told or anything like that Santa wasn't real. I just, you'd figure it out eventually. But I wanted so badly for it to be real. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. And I don't know, I was upset when it wasn't real.
We'd always get a present or two at our door that we could play with or use or whatever until everybody else was awake enough for the actual present opening.
We always had a time that we could come out, and it was always 9 o'clock or something
9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was always 9 o'clock because my parents wanted to take pictures and stuff and be there for it, so we weren't allowed to go out without them, and it was the hardest thing in the world. Waiting, because I'd always wake up at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'd go to sleep at 4, I'd wake up at 5, ready to open some presents. And then I'd have to wait.
That wonder. Okay, that is something that I really do miss about Christmas, is that wonder as a child. Just being so freaking excited, and there was nothing else better in the world.
You know what's really nice? I have a 5-year-old brother.
So you get to still
I get to experience that every single day.
Well, one of my cousins, they've got a kid who's 4, I think, now. They've started... it's a cousin on my dad's side, so they have started to... For a while, they didn't come to some of the Christmas stuff, but now they've started coming again, and they bring their little 4-year-old, and oh my gosh, she is so cute. I went over for Thanksgiving, and my other cousins weren't there, so it was basically me... my little sort of cousin, but not really. And then everybody else was older than me. And so she's just I want to play.
So working at the farm where I had to work with kids a lot, before that, I never really liked kids.
Nah.
I never really had to experience kids a lot except for siblings, and my family does not communicate well, so I never really talked to many of them. But working at the farm, I found that I really enjoy working with kids most of the time. Some kids are freaking brats. But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm good at this, and I actually enjoy this. And it's one of those things I never expected. And I don't know, it's weird when life does that with you. It's just like, yeah.
Like,
two of the things I never thought I'd be good at: public speaking and being with kids.
Nah.
The two things that I do now.
Oh, but then you're like at the mall or at the grocery store, and there's just like that whiny bratty kid. It's just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, those kids bug me. They make me go cray cray.
Yeah. Cray cray makes me go crazy.
There's a TV show that my girlfriend watches she likes Disney Channel shows. She enjoys her kids' shows. But there was this show, apparently there was this guy named Ray Ray, and they were like, Ray Ray makes me cray cray.
Oh gosh. She liked that, didn't she?
She thought it was humorous.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I miss that wonder of just like,
yeah,
so many toys.
Oh, I'm so excited for this Christmas because he's 5 now, so he's at the perfect he's at the perfect age for it.
Yeah.
And then my other little brother, I have a brother that's got Down syndrome and autism and a million other things. So he's still at like a 3-year-old level, even though he's like 15. So he still has that. He loves Christmas. He starts looking forward to Christmas in about July.
Nah.
And so he's funny. He has quite the sense of humor.
Really?
Yes. I mean, it's a funny sense of humor. Like, he's really silly about things. And, I don't know, it's just funny. You'll see him laughing. And he's got sideburns like I do now.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
I thought he was 17.
I don't know how old he is.
Oh.
I don't hardly hang out with my family.
Yeah.
My family is kind of crazy. And, okay, so I've got my brother with the Down syndrome. Then I've got my 5-year-old brother. And then I've got like a 12 or 13-year-old brother. Then I have 2 sisters. And we were all homeschooled. And my mom doesn't know how to deal with a lot of her emotions and stuff. And so, like, home was always very stressful and very, very... there's just not a lot of good communication going on there. And so it's... I don't know. It's nice not being there a lot.
No, I understand that.
What was the coolest present you ever got for Christmas? That's a good question.
Okay.
I got some weird ones.
Okay, but there's different types of cool.
Like, okay, when you were younger, what was your favorite present?
Younger?
Yes, because I mean, like, we still get stuff, and it's still like, you know, like, my favorite present I ever got was my drawing pad, but... I
think there are like
16.
2 or 3 over the years that kind of just jump out as like specific presents that I remember. The first one was this Power Rangers, like the thing that they like all they have their robot things, and then those
like
robot
the crazy
things
Transformer thing.
Yeah, it was one of those from Power Rangers in space.
Oh gosh,
it was. Oh gosh, I wanted it so much.
So I remember like this one. We've never been super well off. We never had a lot of presents. Like, we didn't get to do lists. We got to ask for one thing. But there was this toy I got. It was like a knight's castle. Got that when I was really little. Mm-hmm. It was like Fisher Price or something.
Yeah.
And I loved that thing. And then I don't remember a lot of my presents up until this year when I was a little bit older, where I got a telescope. Yeah, I had that for a long time.
We got a telescope, but it never worked right.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I got to see some cool stuff. I remember I was really obsessed with some weird stuff when I was a kid.
I got the Luke Skywalker doll.
Oh, really?
Did we actually keep that episode?
No.
No, were we just talking about... Okay. In one of our lost episodes over the last couple weeks, we talked about some of our favorite toys growing up, and one of my favorite toys growing up was this Luke Skywalker action figure that I had, and that's one thing that I got for Christmas.
Yeah.
Man, that was a Star Wars year, man. Okay, so I got the Luke Skywalker thing. I got this like Millennium Falcon that was like, what would you say, 3 feet? Is that 3 feet? 2.5, 3 feet. 2.5. I'd say 2.5. It was a big, and you put batteries in it and push buttons and it made noises. And like the back part opened up so you could like play with little action figures inside.
I got this crazy mummy Lego set one year.
Weird.
Yeah, it had this big like.
I don't know why I said weird. It's like
I know. We're all like nostalgic again.
Yeah.
It had this big like foot long like plate piece, and then like this like temple thing with all these traps and stuff in it. And it was the first Lego set I ever got.
That's another one good one. Oh yeah, there was a year with Legos.
I don't know. I don't remember a lot of presents though.
I think the other big present that just stands out to me as one that was like really, really, I don't know, influential or just that jumps out at me was the GameCube. My Game Boy Pocket! My Game Boy Pocket, my very first video game system, I got the Star Wars video game for it, and Dr. Mario. I got that when I was
I've never played that.
I had to have been first grade.
Wow.
So 6.
See, I was never allowed. My mom hated video games. She still does. The only reason I ever get to play them is because that she doesn't have any control over me anymore.
Yeah.
She would stop me if she could, but she hates video games with a passion that can only be described as religious. And
where's that from? What's that a quote?
I have no idea. Mufasa says it. I started saying it. Soon you will start saying it.
No. You can't make me. That is a disgusting face.
We were never really allowed to have video games. My mom hated video games. So I didn't get a GameCube. I didn't get a game system until the GameCube, and that was after the Wii came out.
Did you buy the GameCube from Libby?
Yeah, I bought it, and I was still never allowed to play it. My mom is very opinionated, and that's where I get all my overly opinionated thoughts from.
Your mother is like one of the only people that when she posts things on Facebook that I disagree with, I just have such a difficult time not commenting.
Oh,
they anger me so much.
You know, it's so funny because she now thinks that you're like this like terrible heathen.
Gosh.
And
I just think you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom is extremely opinionated and crazy religious opinionated person, and not that there's anything wrong with religion. I am religious. You're not as much.
I would call myself agnostic for various reasons.
Yay, Christmas!
Yay! Okay, and then the question is, why Christmas? Did I actually ask the question? I don't
know what you said.
If you're not religious, why do you participate in a Christian holiday?
Well, it wasn't originally a Christian holiday, though.
I remember it was originally a pagan holiday that the Christians jacked in, year 425?
I love how many freaking religions the Christians stole. Like, they stole so many, they're like, give it to me.
They stole Christmas. Easter was like Ishtar.
Ishtar's holiday, yeah. Who was the pagan
fertility god?
Yeah, fertility god.
Gosh.
Yes, which is like eggs. That's where the eggs comes from.
Explain the eggs.
Yeah, this is just a holiday episode.
So way back when I was really, really, really researching a lot of like Christian related stuff, there was a day that I started looking up like the history of like the Yule log.
Oh,
and,
really?
like, the ornaments on the Christmas tree. If you actually read,
it's really
Old
interesting
Testament stuff, it's like, do not decorate trees or get, put presents under trees, in Old Testament language. Right. It's like, Christmas is a blatant disregard of Old Testament scripture. So, I don't know, I just find some of the contradictions with anything that is that humans are involved with. If a human is involved, there is some form of messed up something that will be there. Like the what do you call them? The Crusades.
Dude, Crusades were freaking messed up. You know the children's museum.
The children's Crusade. Oh, God, I actually wrote a paper on that one.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
I remember reading about that. I was obsessed with the Crusades when I was really little.
Gosh. How did we get from the Christmas to the Crusades?
They have C's in the name?
Give the people a little background on the Children's Crusade.
I don't know a whole lot about the Children's Crusade, except that basically the Catholic Church was something along the lines of saying, God loves children. If we send a bunch of children to attack Jerusalem, God will protect them. Well, after they were all dead.
Well, actually, they didn't even get there.
No, they didn't even get there.
There was like an ocean or a sea that they had to cross, and they couldn't get a boat. And so they either got killed, sold into slavery, or died of other causes.
Yeah, no, well, and that was the thing, though, is that a lot of the Crusaders died of other causes.
Yay, history.
I used to love history. Like, I don't know a whole lot about it. Like, honestly, like, I would like to say that I know more. But I was a big history nut growing up.
I think the only thing about history stuff that, I mean, yay, history, you gotta know it or else you're gonna repeat the past, whatever. But the thing about it that kind of always jumps out to me are the little, like, human moments. Like, the fact that, Raphael... so the Sistine Chapel was painted by Michelangelo. And in order to do that, he had this big scaffolding system set up where he was basically just laying on a bed, like, 2 or 3 feet from the ceiling, and he was just drawing up there, or painting up there. And so he finished the first half and unveiled it. And Raphael, who was painting...
Who was a Ninja Turtle.
Yes.
No, anyway, continue.
So Raphael, who was this other painter who was painting in this little chapel off to the side of the Sistine Chapel, he goes in there and he's like, hey, I wanna do the second half. So he goes to the heads of the whole project and is like, I wanna do the second half. I mean, they turned him down, but just like that whole like, sassy. And then, who was it? Rembrandt, I think it was. We know exactly like his everything that he owned because he got crazy poor after like his whole entire family died, so he had to sell all of his belongings at an auction to cover his debt. So we know like everything that he owned.
Yeah, my mom, I want to do art stuff, obviously. My mom does not approve of this very much because she doesn't think that she doesn't think that artists make money till after they're dead. Mainly because of fine art, which is not what I want to do at all.
Yeah.
I mean, not in the least bit. I mean, I appreciate that kind of stuff, but that's what I want to do.
As everybody should recall from a couple episodes back on our art history episode. I think we've strayed from Christmas quite a bit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, you know what? This is a good enough place to cut it off.
Yep, I think so too.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening since I introduced this episode.
Merry Christmas.
Or Happy Holidays, Hanukkah / whatever else you celebrate. Hanukkah, and then what was the other one? I'm blanking right now.
Remember?
I feel really bad that I can't remember what it was.
Why should you feel bad? It's not something that... Why should you feel badly? It's not something that is significant in your life. Yes, I understand and acknowledge that, you need to be respectful...
Kwanzaa! Happy Kwanzaa!
...of other people's beliefs and whatnot, but there's a difference between saying, I wish you a Merry Christmas, because that is what I participate in, but I also hope that you have a wonderful time participating in whatever it is that you participate in.
But those are like the 3 main ones, And I couldn't remember what it was. Anyway, have a good wintry season, everybody.
If you'd like to hear more of our stuff, you can always go to cooldownttimer.com, listen to all our back episodes. We're also on iTunes and Stitcher. I'm also working on posting all the back episodes onto YouTube. So youtube.com/cooldownttimerpodcast. That's the same as on Facebook. So facebook.com/cooldownttimerpodcast. We're also on Twitter. I believe it's just Cool Down Timer. I'm on Facebook and Twitter as Straight Up Nifu, and then youtube.com/Nifu. Zingles Artman over here is Facebook and Twitter Zingles Artman.
Yep. And make sure to send us an email
at
cooldown. I don't remember what it is.
Contact us at cooldownttimer.com.
Yeah, but honestly, send us ideas for movies because
movies, not miniseries.
Yeah, we would love to review some good bad movies that you guys have seen
and give us topics to discuss.
Yep,
just
topics
send
to
us
discuss.
Stuff.
Random questions.
We'll read your emails if they're interesting.
Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
I believe that is everything.
Merry Christmas, everybody.